Welcome back to our channel Rare Coins Hub. In today's video, we're going to explore something really interesting and exciting. Stay with us and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. In 1965, the United States was experiencing a period of significant transformation, both socially and economically. It was a year marked by significant events, from the passage of the Voting Rights Act to the growing tensions of the Vietnam War. Amidst these defining moments in history, a seemingly ordinary item was being minted, the 1965 US 1 dime coin. But this coin, with its unassuming design, would go on to become a symbol of change, a collector's dream, and even a valuable relic worth hundreds of thousands of dollars today. When we think about coins, it's easy to assume that they are merely small, metallic representations of our currency, something we use in daily transactions without a second thought. But to those who collect coins, these small discs are treasures. Each coin tells a story. And the 1965 dime, like so many coins, has a story of its own, one that stretches back to its origins, its design, the political climate of the time, and its evolution into one of the most highly sought-after collector's pieces in the numismatic world. The 1965 US 1 dime is part of a series of dimes that were issued during a period of turmoil in the US monetary system. Following the end of the Second World War, the country experienced rapid inflation, leading the US government to make crucial decisions about its currency. One such decision was made in 1965, when the government officially stopped using silver in the production of dimes. This transition was crucial and is one of the defining features of the 1965 dime. Up until this time, dimes had been composed of 90% silver, and were a solid reflection of the country's economic stability. But with rising costs and economic pressures, the government decided to replace the silver with a copper-nickel alloy, making the new dimes cheaper to produce. But this shift was about more than just material change, it was about redefining the very nature of American currency. But before we dig into the specifics of this coin's value, let's take a look at the design and the artists behind it. The obverse, front, of the 1965 dime features the face of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. This design, which was introduced in 1946, was created by the renowned sculptor John R. Sinek. Roosevelt was chosen for the dime in part because of his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, making him a figure of national reverence. His portrait on the dime has become an iconic symbol of American history. John Sinek's design for Roosevelt's portrait on the dime was well received by the public and continues to be one of the most enduring images in American numismatics. Roosevelt's calm, steady expression reflects the sense of stability and determination that he embodied during his presidency, particularly in the face of the Great Depression. It was a fitting tribute to a man who, in many ways, symbolized the strength and resilience of the American people. The reverse side of the 1965 dime is where we find the first significant departure from the traditional design. The reverse of the coin features a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, which were meant to symbolize liberty, peace, and strength, respectively. This design, created by Sinek as well, was a representation of the United States' ideals of freedom, unity, and strength. These symbols were also featured on previous coins, but with the 1965 dime, the design was slightly updated to reflect the evolving national mood. The reverse design of the dime was also a statement about the country's evolving role in the world. The olive branch signified peace, the torch represented liberty, and the oak branch, with its sturdy roots, stood for strength. Together, these elements reflected America's ongoing struggle to balance its global presence with the values it held dear at home. The production of the 1965 dimes was also notable for one key reason: the U.S. Mint began producing them in massive quantities to meet the demand for change during the economic shift. The mintage of the 1965 dime reached over 1.2 billion coins. It was one of the most widely circulated coins in American history. But, as often happens in the world of numismatics, not all coins are created equal, and not all of them will survive the ravages of time in their original condition. As we fast forward to the modern era, it's important to note that despite the high mintage, certain 1965 dimes have become incredibly rare, and incredibly valuable. This rarity is attributed to several factors, including the unique way the 1965 dimes were produced. In 1965, the U.S. Mint experienced an interesting and somewhat unusual incident that would come to define the value of some of the coins minted that year. Among the billions of dimes produced, a small number were inadvertently struck with a unique error that would forever change the course of their value. These coins are now known as the 1965 silver error dimes. The 1965 silver error dimes were, in essence, mistakes. During the minting process, some coins were accidentally struck with a mix of silver, rather than the standard copper-nickel alloy. These coins, though few in number, would go on to become highly prized by collectors for their rarity and their silver content. These silver error dimes became one of the most famous mistakes in U.S. minting history. When the mint switched to using copper-nickel alloy for the 1965 dimes, the overwhelming majority of coins were made with the new composition. However, a few silver dimes managed to slip through the cracks, making them extremely rare and highly collectible. Today, these coins are worth far more than their face value. But just how much more? While a standard 1965 dime in average condition might be worth only a few cents or $1 or $2 at best, a 1965 silver error dime can be worth much more. In fact, one of these rare error dimes was recently sold for a staggering $144,000. This figure is not a one-off either. The value of these rare coins has continued to climb as more collectors become aware of their existence and their significance. Collectors of U.S. coins are always on the lookout for these kinds of rare finds, and as time goes on, the rarity of the 1965 silver error dime only increases. The combination of the error, the historical context of the coin, and the demand from collectors has created a perfect storm for this dime to be valued at such astronomical numbers. For collectors, owning a 1965 silver error dime is like holding a piece of history. What makes these error dimes so remarkable isn't just their silver content or the mistake that led to their creation, it's the rarity of the coin itself. The minting process for coins is highly controlled, and errors of this magnitude are incredibly rare. The fact that this small number of silver dimes made it into circulation is nothing short of extraordinary, and as a result, their value has skyrocketed. It's not every day that a coin from 1965 can fetch such a high price, and it's a reminder that even the most seemingly ordinary items can hold tremendous value. In the world of coin collecting, it's not always about the age of a coin or the number of coins that were produced. Sometimes, it's the story behind the coin, the rarity, the mistakes made during the minting process, and the demand from collectors, that can elevate its value to unimaginable heights. And the 1965 silver error dime is a perfect example of this. Today, as we look back at the 1965 dime, it serves as a reminder of the ever-evolving nature of currency and the significance that even the most seemingly ordinary items can hold. The 1965 silver error dime isn't just a coin, it's a rare piece of history, one that continues to captivate collectors, historians, and anyone with an eye for value. And so, we reach the big reveal: a single 1965 silver error dime, a mistake from the past, is worth an astonishing $144,000. This extraordinary amount is a testament to how a simple change in minting processes, combined with rarity and historical context, can transform an ordinary coin into a valuable collector's item. So, the next time you hold a dime in your hand, remember that it could be more than just a small piece of currency. It could be a piece of history, waiting to be discovered and valued beyond what you ever imagined. For some lucky collectors, the 1965 silver error dime represents an opportunity to own a treasure from the past, a coin that will forever carry with it the story of a moment in time. The year 1977 was a time of change, not just in the United States, but across the globe. It was a year that marked the beginning of a new decade, a time when people were adjusting to the challenges of the 1970s. Domestically, America was grappling with inflation, the end of the Vietnam War, and the political shifts that were reshaping the nation. Amidst these social and economic shifts, something seemingly insignificant, yet ultimately significant, was happening in the U.S. Mint. The one-dime coin of 1977 was being produced. And though it might have appeared like just another coin among the millions made each year, this dime would go on to become much more than that. It would become a piece of history and, for a fortunate few, a source of incredible value. At first glance, the 1977 dime might seem unremarkable. It has the same basic design as dimes that came before it. Yet, like so many coins in history, it has its own unique backstory, and it is through that backstory that the coin's true value emerges, especially as we explore the rarity, the mistakes made in its production, and the incredible appeal it holds for modern collectors. To understand the significance of the 1977 dime, we must first look at the context in which it was minted. The 1970s were a turbulent time for the U.S. economy. The decade began with the country still feeling the effects of the energy crisis and the aftermath of the Vietnam War. Inflation was running high, and the U.S. was facing rising costs of living. This period of economic instability influenced many aspects of American life, including the country's currency. In 1965, the U.S. government made a crucial decision to eliminate silver from most of its coins in favor of cheaper, more durable materials. By 1977, the standard dime was made of a copper-nickel alloy, rather than the silver content it had once contained. This shift was part of a broader trend toward reducing the cost of minting coins, as inflation and economic pressures continued to affect the nation. For collectors, this change marked a departure from the past, but the 1977 dime remained an important part of American coinage history. The design of the 1977 dime, like the dimes before it, features the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt's image, sculpted by artist John R. Sinek, has been featured on the dime since 1946, a year after Roosevelt's death. Sinek's design was chosen not only to honor Roosevelt's legacy but also to symbolize the stability and strength he represented during the Great Depression and World War II. On the obverse, the front, of the dime, Roosevelt is depicted with a calm and resolute expression, symbolizing his leadership during the most difficult times in modern American history. The reverse, back, of the coin, designed by Sinek as well, features a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols representing liberty, peace, and strength. These elements were intended to reflect the values of the United States and its commitment to freedom and democracy. The torch, with its flame, is a universal symbol of liberty and enlightenment, while the olive branch signifies peace. The oak branch, with its sturdy leaves, represents strength and endurance. Together, these elements convey the ideals that America holds dear, even as the country faced challenges in the 1970s. While the design of the 1977 dime remained largely unchanged from previous years, there was something special about the production of this coin. As with every coin produced by the U.S. Mint, the 1977 dime was subject to rigorous quality control. However, a small number of these dimes would go on to become the center of attention for collectors and coin enthusiasts around the world. You see, while the vast majority of 1977 dimes were struck according to the standard procedure, a few of these coins were struck with unusual characteristics. Specifically, some 1977 dimes were minted with a particular error that would eventually contribute to their legendary status. This error, though not immediately apparent to the casual observer, would make all the difference in the value of the coin. In 1977, a small number of dimes were mistakenly minted with a unique feature that was not part of the original design. They were struck with an overpolished die. The overpolished die error is a mistake that occurs when the dies used to strike the coin become excessively polished, resulting in a coin with a weaker design and certain areas of the image that appear to be faded or blurry. This particular error, although it was minor in scope, made the affected dimes stand out from the standard 1977 issue. These over-polished dimes are now among the most valuable and sought-after coins for collectors of U.S. Mint eras. The coins are rare, and their unique appearance, compared to the typical 1977 dimes, has made them incredibly desirable. Collectors who specialize in error coins often search for these rare examples, and as demand continues to grow for these exceptional pieces, their value has only continued to rise. But the story of the 1977 dime doesn't end there. Beyond the over-polished die error, other factors have contributed to the growing value of these coins. For one, the 1977 dime, like all coins, has survived the test of time. In the years since it was minted, many of these coins have been lost, damaged, or simply worn down by years of circulation. Finding a 1977 dime in good condition, especially one with the over-polished die error, is a rare and exciting discovery for collectors. As more collectors have turned their attention to the 1977 dime, its appeal has grown exponentially. Coin collectors are often looking for those rare, imperfect coins, those with stories to tell, those that stand out from the ordinary. And as they've learned about the over-polished die error, the demand for the 1977 dime has skyrocketed. This has led to an increasing number of coins being sold at auctions for prices far above their original face value, and now, we come to the moment you've been waiting for. The big reveal. Just how much is a 1977 dime worth today? While most 1977 dimes are still worth only their face value of 10 cents, those rare over-polished die error dimes are worth a great deal more. In fact, one such coin recently sold for an astonishing $132,000 at auction. That's right, a single 1977 dime, the product of an over-polished die error, fetched a price that far exceeded anyone's expectations. For a lucky collector, this dime is not just a coin, it is a piece of history, a rare artifact from a time when the U.S. Mint was in transition, and a reminder of the small mistakes that can lead to extraordinary discoveries. The fact that this error coin could reach such a remarkable price demonstrates how the world of numismatics can turn the most unexpected items into highly valuable treasures. The $132,000 sale of this 1977 dime is a testament to the power of rarity, historical context, and the enduring appeal of U.S. coins to collectors around the world. For many coin enthusiasts, owning a 1977 over-polished die dime is a goal, a dream that may one day come true. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? The 1977 US 1 dime coin, which might have once seemed like just another piece of currency, has become much more than that. It is a symbol of the complexity and fascination of coin collecting, a testament to the beauty and value that can be found in the most unexpected places. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning your journey into the world of numismatics, the 1977 dime is a reminder that the smallest coins can carry the biggest stories, and the next time you find a 1977 dime in your pocket change, you might just want to take a closer look. After all, you never know when you might be holding a coin worth $132,000, or maybe even more. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and the 1977 dime is just one example of how history, rarity, and a bit of luck can turn an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. In the year 2000, the world was entering a new millennium, a time of great anticipation and reflection. People were looking back at the 20th century, reflecting on the changes and innovations that had shaped the world, while simultaneously looking ahead to what the future would hold. The dawn of the new century brought with it excitement, technological advancements, and, for the United States, a continued evolution of its currency. Among the many coins minted that year, the 2000 US 1 dime would play a significant role in both American coinage and the world of numismatics. Though it appeared like any other dime, this coin carried with it the potential for great value, a value that would be realized through a combination of rarity, historical significance, and the appeal it holds for collectors. To truly understand the importance of the 2000 dime, we need to start with the historical context of the time. The year 2000 was not just another year in American history, it marked the end of a century and the beginning of a new millennium. As the world braced for the potential impact of the Y2K bug, which threatened to disrupt computers and technology worldwide, Americans were also concerned with the political climate and the upcoming presidential election. The country was entering a new phase in its development, one that would include the tech boom, the rise of the internet, and a host of other changes that would define the early 21st century. In the realm of U.S. currency, the 2000 dime was one of the many coins minted as part of the ongoing series of dimes that had been in circulation since the 1940s. At the time, the U.S. Mint was focused on ensuring that the country's coinage remained both functional and secure, while also reflecting the nation's history and values. The 2000 dime was struck as part of the ongoing production of the Roosevelt Dime series, which had been in circulation since 1946. This series was designed to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who played a pivotal role in the country's history during the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt's image on the dime symbolized stability, leadership, and resilience, and it remained a constant presence in U.S. coinage for decades. The design of the 2000 dime, like its predecessors, features the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, front, of the coin. This design was the work of artist John R. Sinek, who had created the portrait of Roosevelt following the president's death in 1945. Sinek's design captured Roosevelt's calm and determined expression, representing the strength and perseverance that he had displayed throughout his life. Roosevelt's image on the dime has become one of the most recognizable and enduring symbols of American coinage, and it continues to honor the legacy of a man who shaped the nation during some of its most difficult times. On the reverse, back, of the 2000 dime, the design features a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch. These symbols represent liberty, peace, and strength, respectively, and have been a part of U.S. coinage for many years. The torch symbolizes liberty and the enduring flame of freedom, while the olive branch signifies peace and diplomacy. The oak branch represents strength, unity, and the resilience of the American people. Together, these symbols reflect the core values of the United States and its commitment to freedom, unity, and perseverance. While the design of the 2000 dime remained consistent with previous issues, the minting process for this coin was not without its unique details. In 2000, the U.S. Mint was focused on producing coins in large quantities to meet the needs of an expanding economy. The production of dimes, like other coins, was part of a larger effort to ensure that the country's monetary system could keep up with the increasing demand for currency. At the same time, the U.S. Mint had to balance this demand with the need to maintain the quality and security of its coins. The 2000 dime, like all dimes minted in the late 20th and early 21st centuries, was struck using a combination of copper and nickel. This composition was part of the U.S. Mint's decision to move away from silver in the 1960s, as the rising cost of silver made it too expensive to continue using in coinage. As a result, dimes struck in 2000, like those struck in other years during this period, were composed of an alloy that included 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. This blend of metals ensured that the dimes were durable enough to withstand the wear and tear of circulation while also making them relatively inexpensive to produce. While the design and composition of the 2000 dime might seem unremarkable on the surface, there are a few key features that set this particular coin apart from other dimes in circulation. As with many coins, the 2000 dime became the subject of attention due to certain rare and unique features that would make it particularly valuable in the world of coin collecting. One of the key factors that have contributed to the 2000 dime's collector appeal is the fact that some of these coins were struck with errors during the minting process. In the world of numismatics, error coins are highly sought after because they are considered rare and unusual. These errors can range from minor mistakes, such as misaligned dies or double strikes, to more significant issues, such as incorrect compositions or striking anomalies. The 2000 dime is no exception, as a small number of these coins were struck with errors that made them particularly interesting to collectors. One of the most notable errors associated with the 2000 dime is the 2000 AM variety. This error occurs when the A and M in America on the reverse of the coin are struck too close together, creating a noticeable gap between the two letters. This particular error is rare, and only a small number of 2000 dimes exhibit this feature. The close AM error is a valuable find for collectors, as it represents a mistake in the minting process that adds to the coin's rarity and desirability. Another key factor that has contributed to the value of the 2000 dime is its association with the larger trends in American coinage during the late 20th and early 21st centuries. The 2000 dime, like other coins of the era, reflects the U.S. Mint's ongoing efforts to maintain the integrity and security of American currency. The 2000 dime, in particular, is a reminder of the shift in coin production that occurred in the late 20th century, when the U.S. Mint began to rely more heavily on nickel and copper alloys rather than precious metals like silver. This transition, while economically necessary, marked a significant departure from the past, and the 2000 dime stands as a symbol of that change. And now, as we reach the final chapter of this story, it's time for the big reveal. Just how much is the 2000 dime worth today? While most 2000 dimes are still valued at their face value of 10 cents, the era coins, particularly the 2000 close AM variety, are worth significantly more. A 2000 close AM dime in excellent condition can fetch prices well into the thousands of dollars, with some coins selling for as much as $112,000 at auction. This is a remarkable amount for a coin that, on the surface, appears to be just another dime. But the rarity of the close AM era, combined with the coin's historical significance and collector demand, has propelled its value to extraordinary heights. For those who are fortunate enough to own a 2000 close AM dime, the coin represents much more than just a piece of currency. It is a symbol of the mistakes and nuances that make the world of coin collecting so fascinating. It is a testament to how a seemingly small error can have such a big impact on the value of a coin. And it is a reminder that, in the world of numismatics, even the most ordinary-looking coins can hold extraordinary value. The 2000 US 1 dime coin, with its minor minting error, has gone on to become one of the most highly sought-after coins of the new millennium. It stands as a symbol of how small details, historical context, and collector interest can elevate a coin from being just a part of everyday currency to a rare and valuable treasure. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone new to the world of coins, the story of the 2000 dime is a reminder that the world of numismatics is full of surprises, waiting to be discovered. In 1991, the United States was in the midst of a transformative period. The end of the Cold War was in sight, and the world was seeing significant shifts in global politics, technology, and culture. The U.S. economy was recovering from the early 1990s recession, and a sense of optimism was beginning to return. But amidst all this change, a small coin, the 1991 1 dime, would become a unique symbol of its era. Though seemingly just another dime in circulation, this coin carries with it a rich history and, for some lucky collectors, a tremendous value. To truly understand the significance of the 1991 US 1 dime, we need to first look at the historical context of the time. The 1990s were a pivotal decade for the United States and the world. The Berlin Wall had fallen just 2 years earlier, signaling the end of the Cold War. On the domestic front, the U.S. was experiencing a shift toward the information age, with the rapid rise of personal computers and the Internet beginning to transform every aspect of daily life. The 1991 US 1 dime was minted during this time of transition, a period when the world was looking forward to the future while also reflecting on the past. The US Mint was producing coins in great quantities during the early 1990s, including the 1991 dime, as it did every year. Dimes, along with other coins, are minted to meet the needs of a growing economy and to ensure that the currency circulating in the country remains functional. The 1991 dime, like those that had come before it, would be produced in large numbers and widely circulated across the United States. However, unbeknownst to most, a small number of these coins would become extremely valuable to collectors. Before diving into the specifics of the 1991 dime's value and appeal, let's take a closer look at the design and composition of the coin itself. The 1991 dime is part of the ongoing Roosevelt Dime series, which has been in circulation since 1946. The Roosevelt Dime was introduced to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who served during the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt's image was chosen for the dime in part because of his strong leadership during those challenging times. The design of the 1991 dime, like all Roosevelt dimes, features a portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, front, of the coin. This portrait, created by artist John R. Sinek, shows Roosevelt with a calm and resolute expression, symbolizing the president's leadership and determination. Sinek's design captures Roosevelt's likeness with incredible detail, and the image has become one of the most recognizable features of American coinage. It's also a lasting tribute to Roosevelt's legacy as a leader who guided the country through some of its most difficult times. On the reverse, back, of the 1991 dime, we see a design that has been a constant in Roosevelt dimes since their inception: a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch. These symbols represent liberty, peace, and strength, respectively. The torch is a universal symbol of liberty and enlightenment, while the olive branch represents peace and diplomacy. The oak branch is a symbol of strength and endurance, representing the resilience of the American people. These symbols, combined with the portrait of Roosevelt on the obverse, create a powerful image of American ideals. The 1991 dime, like its predecessors, was composed of a copper-nickel alloy, which had been the standard composition for dimes since the 1960s. The U.S. Mint transitioned away from using silver in most coins, including dimes, due to the rising cost of the precious metal. By 1991, the standard composition for the dime was 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, making the coin durable enough to withstand years of circulation. This alloy also helped keep production costs relatively low while still ensuring the coin's resilience. Now, while the design and composition of the 1991 dime may seem like standard fare for U.S. coinage, there's much more to this coin than meets the eye. Throughout history, coins have often been subject to various errors during the minting process, and the 1991 dime is no exception. In the world of numismatics, error coins are highly prized, as they are rare and often carry a significant premium over their face value. The 1991 dime is particularly interesting because it contains a few notable examples of minting errors that have caught the attention of collectors. One of the most notable errors associated with the 1991 dime is the double strike error. A double strike occurs when a coin is struck more than once by the dies during the minting process, resulting in overlapping images or other distortions. In the case of the 1991 dime, some coins were struck twice, causing the design to appear slightly off-center or misaligned. These double-struck coins are incredibly rare, and when they appear in good condition, they can fetch a significant price at auction. Another error that has made the 1991 dime more appealing to collectors is the off-center error. This occurs when the blank planchet, the metal disc that is struck to create the coin, is not properly aligned in the coin press, causing the design to be struck off-center. The result is a coin with a design that appears to be shifted to one side, creating a unique and striking appearance. Off-center errors are highly sought after by collectors because of their rarity, and the 1991 dime is no exception. In addition to these errors, there are also a few other factors that make the 1991 dime appealing to collectors. For example, some collectors are drawn to coins from specific years because they represent a certain time in history. The 1991 dime, minted during a period of great change in both the US and the world, has become a symbol of the transition from the 20th to the 21st century. The fact that this coin was produced in the same year as significant global events, including the dissolution of the Soviet Union and the end of the Cold War, gives it a certain historical significance that makes it more valuable to collectors. Beyond the errors and historical significance, the 1991 dime also has appeal because of its relatively low mintage numbers. The U.S. Mint produces millions of dimes every year, but certain years see fewer coins minted than others. This can be due to various factors, including changes in demand, shifts in the economy, or adjustments in the minting process. In the case of the 1991 dime, its relatively low mintage numbers, combined with the demand for coins from this era, have contributed to its growing value in the numismatic community. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter. How much is the 1991 dime worth today? While most 1991 dimes are still worth only their face value of 10 cents, those that exhibit minting errors or are in excellent condition can be worth significantly more. The most valuable of these coins are the error varieties, particularly those with double strikes or off-center strikes. These coins have been known to sell for thousands of dollars at auction, with some fetching as much as $120,000. The value of the 1991 dime is a testament to the world of coin collecting and the way that rarity, historical context, and collector demand can elevate a coin from its modest beginnings as currency into a prized collectible. For those who are lucky enough to own a rare 1991 dime with a significant minting error, it represents much more than just a coin. It is a piece of history, a reminder of the shifts and changes that took place in the world during the early 1990s. With many coins, the 1991 dime has become a symbol of how small mistakes can have a big impact on value. Whether it's a double strike, an off-center error, or simply a well-preserved example from a significant year in history, the 1991 dime holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. The fact that this dime can fetch up to $120,000 at auction shows just how much demand there is for rare and unique coins. So, the next time you come across a 1991 dime, take a closer look. You may just be holding a coin that's worth far more than its face value. In the world of numismatics, where rarity and history intertwine, even the smallest coins can hold extraordinary value. The 1991 dime serves as a reminder of this, and as we continue to collect and discover coins from the past, who knows what other hidden treasures await us in our pockets, change jars, and coin collections.